Proverbs chapter 19, verse 21. Many are the plans in a person's heart, but it is the Lord's purpose that prevails. The truth of life is that we have less control than we think we do over the big picture. We are constantly dreaming, scheming, planning, and preparing, but God actively orchestrates our path in alignment with His larger plan. We have a ton of things in our hearts to do, but our lives are full of missions He sends us to do. Our plans can be very different from God's plan. Ultimately, God's purpose will win out. One big part of how we are made is the idea of volition. Dictionary.com defines it as the faculty or power of using one's will. It is a characteristic of God that was stamped into us because we are made in His image. Along with the will comes creativity. God is a creative entity. He makes things and places and even people. However, the problem with volition and creativity is they can alter perspective. Because we can choose, create, and do so without the need for external input, we can begin to elevate ourselves to a deity level of authority defined as the power or right to give orders, make decisions, and enforce obedience. We become our own false God. We like to discuss how God is in control as we make a billion choices every day. Then you're left with fate or control, and both are wrong. Why? Because it's easy to take these attributes and do exactly what Satan did and pervert and twist them into becoming your own God. We need to learn our abilities and our limitations. We submit to the Lordship of Jesus and utilize these inherent qualities for Him. We are to fulfill the missions and purposes of God with these things. Ways we can do that first is with our volition. God has a specific vision and mission in mind for your part in the grand unfolding story of humanity. You get to choose whether to partner with it or not. Ultimately, the purpose will be fulfilled, but it is your choice whether to do it or not. In the same vein, sometimes it will require us to choose God's mission and desires over some of our own desires. The bottom line is that choosing God is always better. Next, our creativity. God will send you into situations and missions that will require you to exercise your creativity in solving problems and innovating new ways of doing things. We need to avoid allowing creative license to create in us a willful or rebellious spirit. It's important to maintain perspective. And then finally, what we do with our authority. We have been given authority, however, what we are to do with that authority is the question, and the authority in this case is to cede our authority back to God. In everything you do, you can always lay yourself down before the Lord and place Him in authority over it. We need to do this as a regular practice. Our inherent qualities are designed specifically to facilitate the mission of God. Therefore, we need to be mindful of not twisting them against their purpose, like Satan did.